Suppose you're scrolling through Instagram right now. Everyone's posting their morning coffee, their gym selfies, their vacation photos. But there's someone you know who never posts. Not once, in months, maybe years. You've wondered about them, haven't you? What's their deal? Are they hiding something? Depressed? Superior? The truth is far more interesting than you think. These are the lurkers, the digital ghosts, the people who watch your stories but never share their own. And psychologically, they're fascinating. Research shows that up to 90% of social media users are actually passive consumers. But the true non-posters, the ones who consciously refuse to share, they're operating on a completely different frequency. Here's what's happening in their minds. First, there's something called audience anxiety, but not in the way you'd expect. They're not afraid of judgment. They've calculated it. They've run the mental math on how much validation a post brings versus how much mental energy it costs, and they've decided the equation doesn't balance. Every post is a micro-performance, and they've chosen to exit the stage entirely. But there's something deeper. Many non-posters experience what psychologists call chronic self-monitoring. They're so aware of how they'll be perceived that they'd rather be perceived as mysterious than risk being perceived as anything else. Silence becomes their brand. Let me break down the 4 types of people who don't post, because they're not all the same. Type 1, the philosopher. They've consciously rejected social media performance as inauthentic. They're not anti-technology, they're anti-curation. They believe that the best moments in life are devalued the second you try to monetize them for likes. There's actual research backing this up. A Stanford study found that people who photograph experiences enjoy them less in the moment. The philosopher learned this instinctively. Type 2, the perfectionist. They have 17 drafts saved. They've written and deleted the caption 40 times. Nothing is ever good enough to hit post. This isn't humility, it's paralysis. They're trapped in what psychologists call maximizer mentality, where the fear of making a suboptimal choice leads to making no choice at all. Type 3, the protector. They've seen what oversharing costs. Maybe they watched someone's career implode over an old tweet, or maybe they just value privacy in an age of permanent digital records. They understand that everything online is forever, and they're playing the long game. Type 4, the free. And these are the rarest. They genuinely don't care. Not in a rebellious way, in a liberated way. They've somehow bypassed the dopamine conditioning that hooks everyone else. Social media simply doesn't activate their reward systems. They're like people who are immune to advertising. Now here's where it gets wild. Neuroscience shows us that when you post on social media, your brain releases dopamine in anticipation of likes and comments. It's the same chemical released by gambling, by drugs, by falling in love. But non-posters, their brains have either never formed this association or they've actively broken it. There's also a correlation with something called low self-monitoring personality. These are people who don't constantly adjust their behavior based on social feedback. They have a strong internal compass. Studies show they're often more satisfied with their lives, more authentic in relationships, and paradoxically, despite posting nothing, they often have deeper real-world friendships. But it's not all positive. Some non-posters are dealing with social anxiety so severe that even digital interaction feels threatening. Others are depressed and have convinced themselves they have nothing worth sharing. The silence can be a symptom, not a choice. So what does it mean if you don't post? Honestly, it probably means you're more self-aware than most people scrolling right now. You've recognized that social media is a game, and you've chosen not to play. Or maybe you're playing a different game entirely, one where your life isn't content, it's just your life. The people who don't post aren't missing out. They're not broken. They're not superior either. They've just made a calculation that the rest of us are too hooked to make. They've asked themselves, what do I actually get from this? And the answer was honest enough to change their behavior. So next time you notice someone who never posts, don't feel sorry for them. They're probably living more freely than anyone performing their happiness online. The real question is, are you watching this video to understand them or because some part of you wishes you could be them?